The key to cakes that don't dome and cook perfectly evenly is something you might already have, even if you're not much of a baker. It's this: a sheet pan, the one you use to roast vegetables or to bake cookies. Why didn't anyone ever tell me this? All my favorite baking gurus, Rose Levy Berenbaum, Stella Parks, Claire Saffitz, all call for round cake pans. And none of them agree on the right pans. One wants 9 by 2 inch pans, another wants 8 by 3 inch pans. And for a layered cake, you'll need 2 or even 3 of those. And are you done once you invest in all those pans? Of course not. Now you need cake strips. Cake strips insulate the sides of the cake so that your cake doesn't dome and doesn't form a tough side crust. This cake pan insanity finally got to me, and I had an idea. What if I poured the batter into my sheet pan? Whenever I have a new baking idea, there's usually a good reason why no one does it. I'm a good cooking idea person, but not a good baking idea person. So I Googled for this concept to make sure it wasn't totally crazy. Turns out it's nothing new. Everyone from Cooks Illustrated to King Arthur Flour and even Christina Tosi from the Milk Bar bake all sorts of cakes in sheet pans. King Arthur Flour had a fabulous article that forever liberated me from the round cake pans. That link is below. They said that any layer cake recipe that calls for 3 8 or 9 inch round pans will work in a half sheet pan with no adjustments needed. If the recipe calls for 2 8 to 9 inch pans, you simply multiply the weight of all the ingredients by 1.5 to fill your standard half sheet. How easy is that? I know what you're thinking. But what if I don't want a rectangular cake? What if I want a round cake? No problem. Just use a plate or parchment paper circle to cut out 2 whole circles and 2 half circles from your big rectangular cake. An even better option is to use a large ring mold that you can press into the cake to cut the circles. This way, you'll have nice, smooth edges. The half circles can be your middle layer, and once you ice your cake, no one will ever know that deep inside that round cake live 2 half circles. Personally, I don't mind rectangular cakes and find that dividing the cake into several strips is very easy and convenient. You can make the rectangles or squares any size you want based on what cake platter you plan to use. I also find rectangular cakes a lot easier to ice. For the round cakes, it really helps to have a cake turntable. But the only equipment you'll need for a rectangular cake is a little offset spatula. If you can butter bread or cream cheese a bagel, you can ice a rectangular cake. It's not just the ease of preparation that I like so much with this technique, it's also the eating experience. Many layered cakes baked in round pans are awfully tall. Look at this cake from Sola's book, or this carrot cake from Stella Parks' book. I know they look very impressive, but you can't possibly fit more than 1 layer into a bite. So what you're eating is really a sheet cake, not a layer cake. Now let's address the issue of dark versus light baking sheets. Here's what standard American half sheets look like when they are new. The light color slows down the browning and results in very evenly baked cakes without a tough bottom crust. But what's great for cakes is terrible for roasted vegetables where you do want browning. That's why I have another set of baking sheets that I've seasoned just like a cast iron skillet to make them darker. If you only have dark ones, don't worry, you can have your cake and eat it too. Just place 1 half sheet inside the other one to insulate the bottom and slow down the browning. You know what we're going to do with this newfound freedom from stupid cake equipment? We're going to bake a really awesome carrot cake. But that's next week, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so that you don't miss that video.